Why do some people walk into a room and instantly capture attention without saying a word? Why do opportunities seem to follow them? Why do people trust them, respect them, and want to be around them? The answer may surprise you. It has nothing to do with luck. It has nothing to do with status. And it certainly has nothing to do with trying to impress everyone. The most magnetic people in the world understand a secret that most people never discover. They know that attraction is not something you chase. It's something you become. Think about it. Have you ever met someone whose presence made you feel inspired? Someone who lifted the energy of every conversation? Someone people naturally listened to and followed? What if you could develop that same kind of influence? What if people were drawn to your confidence, your character, your purpose, and your energy? Today, you're about to learn how to become the kind of person who attracts opportunities, builds powerful relationships, and leaves a lasting impression wherever they go. Because becoming a people magnet isn't about changing who you are. It's about becoming the best version of who you were meant to be. Stay with me until the end, because one of these principles could completely transform the way people see you, and more importantly, the way you see yourself. Most people think confidence is something you are born with. They believe that certain individuals are naturally gifted with charisma, influence, and the ability to attract others. But the truth is that genuine confidence is not something you inherit. It is something you build. It is developed through self-awareness, discipline, growth, and a clear understanding of who you are. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to create confidence from external things. They depend on their appearance, their achievements, their social status, or the opinions of others. The problem with this approach is that external things can change at any moment.
If your confidence depends on what you have, then losing those things can destroy your confidence. Real confidence must come from something deeper. It must come from your character. Character is what remains when nobody is watching. It is your integrity, your values, your habits, and your commitment to doing what is right. People are naturally attracted to individuals who possess strong character because character creates trust. Trust creates respect. Respect creates influence. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who constantly tries to prove how important they are? They talk about their accomplishments, seek attention, and desperately want recognition. Instead of attracting people, they often push people away. Why? Because insecurity is difficult to hide. People can sense when someone is trying too hard to impress them. On the other hand, truly confident people do not spend their lives seeking approval. They are comfortable with who they are. They understand their strengths and acknowledge their weaknesses without allowing those weaknesses to define them. They do not need to be the loudest person in the room because they know their value is not determined by volume. Their confidence speaks through their actions. Confidence grows when you keep promises to yourself. Every time you say you will do something and actually do it, you strengthen your self-belief. Every goal you pursue, every challenge you overcome, and every difficult situation you face with courage adds another layer to your confidence. This is why discipline is so powerful. Discipline teaches you that you can trust yourself. Many people wait until they feel confident before taking action. Successful people do the opposite. They take action first, and confidence follows. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. Every step you take outside your comfort zone expands your confidence and increases your belief in your own abilities. Remember this, confidence is not about believing you are better than other people. It is about believing in your ability to learn, grow, adapt, and overcome challenges. It is not arrogance, it is self-respect. It is the quiet assurance that no matter what obstacles appear in your path, you have the ability to keep moving forward. When your confidence is built on character rather than appearance, something remarkable happens. You stop trying to impress people and start inspiring them. You stop chasing acceptance and start living with purpose. You stop depending on the opinions of others and begin trusting your own values. And that is when people are naturally drawn to you, not because of what you have, but because of who you have become. If you want people to be attracted to your presence, your influence, and your personality, you must understand a simple principle. People are drawn to value. The world responds to those who contribute. Too many people spend their lives asking, what can I get? while very few ask, "What can I give?" That single difference separates those who chase attention from those who naturally attract it. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are they have added something meaningful to your life. Maybe they encouraged you during a difficult season. Maybe they taught you something valuable. Maybe they inspired you to think bigger, work harder, or believe in yourself. Whatever the reason, they made your life better in some way. That is why you remember them. That is why you respect them. The truth is that value creates attraction. People naturally appreciate those who bring solutions instead of complaints, encouragement instead of negativity, and wisdom instead of confusion. When you consistently improve the lives of those around you, your presence becomes something people appreciate and seek out. Many people make the mistake of trying to become popular, but popularity is temporary. Value is lasting. Popularity depends on people's opinions. Value depends on your contribution. One can disappear overnight, but the other continues creating impact for years. Ask yourself a powerful question. If you entered a room today, what would people gain from interacting with you? Would they leave more encouraged, more motivated, more informed, more hopeful, more confident? The answer to that question reveals the level of value you currently bring into the lives of others. Adding value does not require wealth, fame, or extraordinary talent. Sometimes value is as simple as being dependable when others need support. Sometimes it is offering a kind word when someone feels discouraged. Sometimes it is sharing knowledge that helps another person solve a problem. Small acts performed consistently can have a tremendous impact over time. One of the greatest ways to increase your value is through personal growth. The more you learn, the more you can teach. The more you develop, the more you can contribute. The more wisdom you gain, the more people benefit from your presence. This is why investing in yourself is never selfish. When you become better, you become more useful to others. People who focus only on themselves often struggle to build meaningful relationships because relationships thrive on contribution. Every healthy relationship is strengthened when both people look for ways to serve, encourage, and uplift each other. The moment you shift your focus from receiving to contributing, everything begins to change. There is another important truth
many people overlook. Value is not only about what you know, it is also about how you make people feel. You can be highly intelligent, but if you constantly criticize, discourage, or dismiss others, people will avoid you. Knowledge matters, but character multiplies the impact of knowledge. People remember how you treated them long after they forget what you said. Imagine becoming the kind of person who consistently leaves every conversation better than they found it.
Someone who brings solutions instead of excuses, someone who brings hope instead of doubt, someone who brings encouragement instead of criticism. That kind of person becomes unforgettable. When you dedicate yourself to creating value every day, you no longer need to chase attention, approval, or recognition. Opportunities begin to find you. Relationships become stronger. Influence grows naturally, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it through contribution. The secret is simple. Stop asking, "How can I get people to notice me?" Start asking, "How can I improve the lives of the people around me?" The moment that becomes your focus, you begin developing a presence that people are naturally drawn to. Value attracts attention. Value attracts respect. Value attracts opportunity. And the more value you create, the more magnetic your life becomes. One of the most powerful skills you can develop is the ability to truly listen. It sounds simple, yet it is becoming increasingly rare. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, very few people are willing to genuinely hear others. Most conversations are filled with interruptions, distractions, and people waiting for their turn to speak rather than paying attention to what is actually being said. If you want to become someone people naturally enjoy being around, start by becoming a better listener. People are attracted to those who make them feel understood. Every human being has a desire to feel important, valued, and respected. When you listen with sincerity,
you meet that need in a powerful way. Think about the last time someone gave you their complete attention. No phone in their hand, no constant interruptions, no rush to tell their own story. They simply listened. Chances are you felt appreciated, you felt respected, you felt like your thoughts mattered. That experience leaves a lasting impression because genuine listening is a rare gift. Many people believe influence comes from speaking well.
While communication is important, listening is often even more powerful. The person who understands others gains insight that the person who only talks will never discover. Listening allows you to learn what motivates people, what concerns them, what inspires them, and what challenges they face. It helps you connect on a deeper level because people trust those who take time to understand them. When someone is speaking, resist the urge to immediately think about your response. Focus on understanding their message. Pay attention not only to their words, but also to their emotions. Sometimes people are not looking for advice. Sometimes they simply want someone to hear them. Your willingness to listen can have a greater impact than any solution you could offer. Another important part of listening is asking thoughtful questions. Questions show interest. They communicate that you care enough to learn more. Instead of turning every conversation back to yourself, encourage others to share their experiences, ideas, and perspectives. People often remember those who made them feel comfortable enough to express themselves freely. Good listening also requires humility. You must accept that you do not know everything and that every person you meet can teach you something. Whether someone is older or younger, more experienced or less experienced, there is always something valuable to learn. The moment you approach conversations with curiosity instead of pride, your relationships begin to deepen. Listening is not weakness. It is strength under control. It demonstrates patience, emotional maturity, and respect. It shows that you are secure enough not to dominate every conversation. Confident people do not feel the need to constantly prove themselves. They are comfortable learning from others. As you improve your listening skills, you will notice something remarkable. People will begin opening up to you more. They will trust you more. They will enjoy your company more.
Not because you are saying extraordinary things, but because you are making them feel seen and heard. In a noisy world filled with people competing for attention, become someone who pays attention. In a world filled with endless talking, become someone who listens with intention. Your ability to make people feel understood can become one of your greatest strengths. It can strengthen friendships, improve relationships, open doors to new opportunities, and increase your influence in ways you never imagined. Never underestimate the power of listening. Words may impress people for a moment, but understanding touches people at a deeper level. And when people feel understood, they are naturally drawn toward the person who made them feel that way. Have you ever noticed how certain people can completely change the atmosphere of a room the moment they enter? They do not need a microphone. They do not need a spotlight. Their presence alone influences the environment around them. Some people bring peace, confidence, and encouragement. Others bring stress, negativity, and tension. The difference is not their circumstances. The difference is the energy they carry and the way they manage their emotions. The truth is that people are naturally attracted to positive energy. This does not mean pretending that life is perfect. It does not mean ignoring problems or acting happy every second of the day. Real positive energy comes from emotional control. It comes from the ability to remain steady, focused, and hopeful even when challenges arise. Many people allow their emotions to control them. If something goes wrong, they become negative. If someone criticizes them, they become discouraged. If life becomes difficult, they lose their motivation. As a result, their emotions determine the direction of their day. But emotionally strong people understand a powerful principle. Feelings are real, but they should not become the leader of your life.
You must learn to manage your emotions instead of being managed by them. This does not mean suppressing your feelings. It means understanding them, learning from them, and responding wisely rather than reacting impulsively. There is a major difference between reacting and responding. Reactions are often driven by emotion. Responses are guided by wisdom. Think about how many relationships are damaged because people react without thinking. One angry sentence can create lasting consequences. One emotional decision can destroy trust. One moment of uncontrolled frustration can undo years of progress. Emotional control protects you from becoming your own worst enemy. Strong people understand that they cannot always control what happens around them, but they can control how they respond. They take responsibility for their attitude. They refuse to allow temporary situations to create permanent negativity. They understand that every challenge presents a choice. You can become bitter or you can become better. You can complain or you can grow. You can focus on obstacles or you can focus on solutions. People are drawn toward those who consistently bring hope into difficult situations when challenges arise. They look for individuals who remain calm under pressure. They trust people who can think clearly when others are panicking. They respect people who maintain their character when circumstances become difficult. Your energy affects more people than you realize. Every conversation, every interaction, and every relationship is influenced by the attitude you bring into it. If you constantly complain, criticize, and spread negativity, people will eventually distance themselves, not because they dislike you, but because negativity is exhausting. Everyone is already fighting battles you cannot see. Most people are searching for encouragement, not additional burdens. This is why becoming a source of positivity is so valuable. Encourage people. Celebrate their progress. Speak words that build rather than destroy. Look for opportunities instead of excuses. Become someone who inspires confidence instead of fear. These habits may seem small, but they have a powerful impact over time. Emotional control also requires self-awareness. You must recognize the triggers that affect your mood and learn how to handle them wisely. Learn when to pause before speaking. Learn when to walk away from unnecessary conflict. Learn when to replace negative thoughts with productive ones. The stronger your emotional discipline becomes, the stronger your influence becomes. Remember, people magnets are not people without problems. They are people who refuse to let problems control their spirit. They understand that circumstances come and go, but character must remain. They choose faith over fear, solutions over excuses, and growth over negativity. When you master your emotions and cultivate positive energy, your presence becomes powerful. People feel stronger after talking with you. They feel encouraged instead of discouraged. They feel inspired instead of defeated. And that is one of the greatest gifts you can offer the world. Your energy becomes contagious. Your influence grows naturally. And your life becomes a source of strength for everyone around you. Zavari motivation, where purpose awakens, discipline grows, and greatness becomes your daily standard. One of the greatest qualities that attracts people is trustworthiness. Many individuals spend years trying to become more influential, more respected, and more admired. Yet they overlook the foundation upon which all meaningful relationships are built. That foundation is trust. Without trust, talent loses its power. Without trust, opportunities disappear. Without trust, relationships become weak and unstable. Trust is one of the most valuable assets a person can possess. The interesting thing about trust is that it cannot be demanded. It cannot be bought. It cannot be forced. Trust must be earned through consistent actions over time. People do not trust you because of what you promise. They trust you because of what you repeatedly do. Your actions speak louder than your intentions. Anyone can make a commitment, but not everyone follows through when it becomes difficult. Think about the people you trust the most. Why do you trust them? It is probably because they have shown consistency. They have demonstrated reliability. They have proven that their words and actions align. When they say they will do something, they do it. When they make a commitment, they honor it. When challenges arise, they remain dependable. Consistency creates confidence in the minds of others. It removes uncertainty. People feel secure around individuals who are dependable because they know what to expect. There is tremendous power in being someone others can count on. In a world where many people make excuses, reliability stands out. In a world filled with broken promises, integrity becomes magnetic. One of the fastest ways to build trust is by keeping the promises you make, not only to others, but also to yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you strengthen your character. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it is inconvenient, you develop a reputation for dependability. Character is built in moments when nobody is watching. It is built when you choose discipline over comfort and responsibility over excuses. Many people underestimate how much small actions matter. They think trust is only built through major events, but trust is often built through ordinary moments: arriving on time, being honest, following through on responsibilities, keeping your word, respecting people's time, showing up when needed. These seemingly small actions accumulate over time and create a powerful reputation. The opposite is also true. Trust can be damaged through repeated inconsistency. When people constantly say one thing and do another, confidence in them begins to fade. Excuses replace accountability. Promises lose their meaning. Relationships become strained. This is why integrity is so important. Integrity means being the same person regardless of the situation. It means maintaining your principles even when no one is watching. Trustworthy people also understand the importance of honesty. They do not exaggerate their achievements or pretend to be someone they are not. They communicate truthfully and take responsibility for their mistakes. Ironically, admitting mistakes often increases trust because it demonstrates maturity and accountability. People respect those who are willing to own their shortcomings and learn from them. Another powerful aspect of trust is consistency during difficult times. It is easy to be dependable when everything is going well. The real test comes when circumstances become challenging. Can people still rely on you when pressure increases? Can they still trust your character when obstacles appear? Consistency under pressure reveals the strength of your foundation. As your trustworthiness grows, something remarkable happens. People begin recommending you to others. Opportunities start finding their way to you. Relationships become stronger. Your influence expands naturally, not because you demanded respect, but because you earned it through your actions. Always remember that people are not attracted to perfection. They are attracted to authenticity, reliability, and character. They are drawn to individuals whose actions consistently match their words. If you want to become someone others admire and trust, focus less on impressing people and more on becoming dependable. Keep your word, honor your commitments, live with integrity, stay consistent, because at the end of the day, your reputation is not built by what you say about yourself. It is built by what your actions repeatedly prove. And when people know they can trust you, your presence becomes powerful. Your influence becomes lasting, and your life becomes a magnet for meaningful relationships and opportunities. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to build strong relationships is because they spend too much time trying to impress others. They carefully choose their words, constantly seek approval, and worry about what everyone thinks of them. They believe that if they can make enough people admire them, they will become influential and successful. But the truth is that chasing approval often creates the opposite result. People are not deeply attracted to those who constantly seek attention. They are attracted to those who make a meaningful impact. There is a major difference between impressing people and serving people. Impressing people focuses on yourself. Serving people focuses on others. One asks, how can I look important? The other asks, how can I be useful? One seeks applause. The other seeks contribution. One is driven by ego. The other is driven by purpose. Think about the individuals who have had the greatest positive influence on your life. Chances are they were not focused on showing off their abilities. They were focused on helping, teaching, encouraging, and supporting others. Their impact came from their willingness to contribute rather than their desire to be admired. Many people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to create a perfect image. They want everyone to see them as successful, intelligent, talented, or impressive. But constantly maintaining an image can become exhausting. It creates pressure. It creates insecurity. It creates fear of failure. Why? Because when your identity depends on other people's opinions, you become a prisoner of their approval. True freedom begins when you stop living for applause and start living for purpose. When your goal becomes serving others rather than impressing them, something powerful happens. You stop worrying so much about how you appear and start focusing on how you can help. You become more authentic, more confident, more genuine, and people naturally respond to that authenticity. Service does not always involve grand gestures. It often begins with simple actions, offering encouragement when someone is struggling, sharing knowledge that can help another person grow, supporting a friend during a difficult season, being available when someone needs guidance, listening when someone needs to be heard. These acts may seem small, but they create a lasting impact because they communicate care and value. One of the most attractive qualities a person can possess is a servant mindset. This does not mean allowing people to take advantage of you. It means approaching life with a desire to contribute rather than consume. It means asking yourself, how can I leave this situation better than I found it? Whether you are at work, with family, among friends, or meeting new people, that mindset changes everything. People are naturally drawn toward individuals who make them feel valued. They appreciate those who celebrate their successes, encourage their dreams, and genuinely care about their well-being. Service builds connection because it shifts the focus away from self-centeredness and toward meaningful contribution. Another important truth is that service increases influence. Many people chase influence directly and never find it. The people who often gain the most influence are those who focus on helping others succeed. When you consistently add value to people's lives, they begin to trust you. They respect your character. They appreciate your presence. Influence becomes a natural byproduct of contribution. Serving others also develops your own character. It teaches humility. It strengthens patience. It expands compassion. It reminds you that life is bigger than personal recognition. The more you help others grow, the more you grow yourself.
The more you invest in others, the richer your own life becomes. Always remember this powerful principle. People may be impressed by your talents, but they are impacted by your heart. They may admire what you accomplish, but they will remember how you treated them. Long after achievements fade and accomplishments are forgotten, the value you added to people's lives will remain. So stop trying to be impressive. Start trying to be useful. Stop chasing attention. Start creating impact. Stop asking how many people notice you and start asking how many people are better because they met you. That shift in perspective can transform your relationships, expand your influence, and make your presence truly magnetic. When you focus on serving rather than impressing, you become the kind of person people naturally want to be around. One of the most attractive qualities a person can possess is a commitment to continuous growth. People are naturally drawn to individuals who are improving, learning, and becoming better versions of themselves. Growth creates energy. Growth creates momentum. Growth creates confidence. When people see someone moving forward with purpose, they become inspired because progress is contagious. The problem is that many people stop growing long before they stop living. They settle into routines, become comfortable with average results, and convince themselves that they already know enough. As a result, their potential remains locked away. Their dreams remain undeveloped. Their influence remains limited. Growth stops, and so does progress. The moment you decide that learning is a lifelong responsibility, your life begins to change. Every book you read, every lesson you learn, every skill you develop, and every challenge you overcome becomes an investment in your future. Growth is not an event, it is a lifestyle. It is a daily decision to become a little better than you were yesterday. Think about it.
Why are people often attracted to leaders, mentors, and successful individuals? It is not simply because of what they have achieved. It is because they possess knowledge, wisdom, and experience that others can learn from. They have invested years into developing themselves. Their growth has increased their value. The more you grow, the more you have to offer. You become more capable of solving problems. You become more effective in communication. You become more confident in difficult situations. You become more equipped to help others. Personal development is not just about improving your own life. It's about increasing your ability to positively impact the lives of those around you. One of the greatest mistakes people make is waiting for motivation before they begin growing. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel inspired, other days you do not. If your growth depends on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. Successful people understand that discipline is more reliable than motivation. They continue learning even when they do not feel like it. They continue improving even when progress feels slow. They understand that small daily improvements eventually create extraordinary results. Growth also requires humility. You must be willing to admit that there are things you do not know. Pride prevents learning because it convinces people they already have all the answers. Humility opens the door to wisdom because it creates a willingness to learn from others. Every person you meet knows something you do not know. Every experience contains a lesson. Every challenge carries an opportunity for growth. Another important part of growth is embracing discomfort. Most people avoid situations that stretch them. They stay inside their comfort zones because it feels safe. But nothing significant grows inside a comfort zone. Confidence grows when you face challenges. Skills grow when you practice. Wisdom grows when you learn from mistakes.
Strength grows when you overcome resistance. Every level of growth requires a new version of you. The person you are today has brought you this far, but the person you become will determine how far you go tomorrow. That is why personal development should never stop. There is always another level to reach, another lesson to learn, another skill to develop, and another area to improve. People are inspired by progress because progress creates hope. When others see you consistently growing, they begin to believe they can grow too. Your commitment to improvement becomes an example. Your discipline becomes motivation. Your journey becomes proof that positive change is possible. Never become satisfied with simply existing when you were created to grow.
Read more, learn more, practice more, improve more. Challenge yourself to become stronger mentally, emotionally, and professionally. Invest in your mind because your future is shaped by what you consistently put into it. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. You do not have to know everything today. You simply need to keep moving forward. Every lesson learned, every habit improved, and every challenge overcome brings you closer to your potential. When you commit yourself to lifelong growth, you become more confident, more valuable, more influential, and more effective. And as your growth continues, people will naturally be drawn to the wisdom, energy, and purpose that your journey produces. Growth is attractive because it reflects possibility. It reflects vision. It reflects a person who refuses to remain where they are and is determined to become all they are capable of becoming. One of the most powerful qualities that makes a person truly magnetic is living with a clear sense of purpose. People are naturally attracted to individuals who know where they are going. There is something inspiring about a person who wakes up each day with direction, intention, and a vision for their future. Purpose creates focus.
Purpose creates discipline. Purpose creates confidence. Without purpose, life becomes a series of random activities. With purpose, every action begins to carry meaning. Many people spend years moving through life without a clear destination. They react to circumstances instead of creating direction. They allow other people's opinions, trends, and distractions to determine their choices. As a result, they often feel confused, frustrated, and unfulfilled. They may be busy, but they are not necessarily productive. They may be active, but they are not moving towards something meaningful. A person with vision is different. They understand that every day matters. They recognize that time is valuable and cannot be recovered once it is gone. Because they have a purpose, they make decisions differently, they think differently, they act differently. Their vision becomes a filter through which they evaluate opportunities, relationships, and priorities. Purpose gives you a reason to keep going when motivation disappears. Anyone can work hard when everything is easy. Anyone can stay committed when results come quickly. But what happens when progress feels slow? What happens when obstacles appear? What happens when setbacks arrive unexpectedly? This is where purpose becomes powerful. A strong vision keeps you moving when emotions try to stop you. It reminds you why you started and why the journey is worth continuing. People are drawn to purpose because purpose creates certainty in a world filled with confusion and distractions. Clarity stands out. Individuals who know what they want and why they want it often inspire confidence in others. They do not need to have every answer. They do not need to be perfect. They simply need to have direction. Direction creates momentum, and momentum attracts attention. Your purpose does not have to be enormous to be meaningful. It simply needs to be bigger than your comfort zone. It should challenge you to grow, contribute, and become more than you are today. Purpose gives significance to your efforts because it connects your daily actions to a larger mission. When you live with vision, you stop wasting energy on things that do not matter. You become less concerned with temporary distractions and more focused on long-term impact. You begin asking different questions. Instead of asking what is easy, you ask what is important. Instead of asking what will make me comfortable, you ask what will move me closer to my purpose. These questions transform the quality of your decisions. Purpose also creates resilience. Every worthwhile dream faces resistance. There will always be challenges, delays, disappointments, and unexpected obstacles. People without vision often quit when difficulties appear because they lack a compelling reason to continue. People with vision view challenges differently. They see obstacles as part of the journey rather than signs to stop. Their purpose gives them strength when circumstances become difficult. Another remarkable thing about purpose is that it inspires others. People may admire talent, but they are deeply moved by conviction. When others see someone pursuing a meaningful goal with passion and determination, they become encouraged to pursue their own goals. Your commitment can become a source of motivation for everyone around you. You may never fully realize how many lives are influenced simply because you refuse to give up on your vision. Living with purpose also creates authenticity. You stop trying to become what everyone else wants you to be. You stop comparing your journey to someone else's path. You become focused on fulfilling your own assignment. This confidence is attractive because it comes from clarity rather than competition. You no longer need to chase attention because your energy is invested in your mission. Never underestimate the power of a purpose-driven life. A clear vision gives meaning to your efforts, direction to your decisions, and strength to your character. It transforms ordinary days into opportunities for growth and impact. It helps you rise above distractions and remain focused on what truly matters. When you know who you are, what you stand for, and where you are going, your presence becomes powerful. People are attracted to certainty, commitment, and vision. They are inspired by individuals who live with intention rather than drifting through life without direction. Develop a purpose that excites you. Commit yourself to it fully and pursue it with persistence. As your vision grows stronger, your influence will grow stronger as well. And in the process, you will become the kind of person others naturally respect, trust, and want too.